$50,000 to do Wi-Fi for what he builds in LA, so you don't get new construction coming in, you don't get new housing.
People can't even afford their own homes if they
can't afford gas. I'll get my kickbacks, I'll stay in power, I'll tell the tenants what they want to hear, and then when I don't deliver that, I'll keep blaming the landlords.
All right, everyone, welcome back. Makan, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
I do really appreciate you coming on. Just introduce yourself, because I don't think I can do justice.
Thanks. My name is Makan Mostafavi. I've been in the real estate business for close to 30 years, done $2.5 billion worth of deals. Also do private equity and media. Last 10 years, I've shifted over into private equity. And then the last 3 years, I've shifted into media, social media scaling and social media. And I've got a podcast on YouTube called The Truth Hurts Show. And then my socials on Instagram, where we met, is Makan.Mostafavi. That's a mouthful.
Yeah, you have a lot of content, and I think it's very hard to make content. People think it's easy, but it took us a while to get used to the cameras, used to, all the stuff.
Yeah, making content's pretty challenging. I know when I first started, I was making a ton of content. I was filming nonstop, made 90 clips, posting 3 times a day. It took a good 6 months until my first video did 5 million views. Actually, it did like 9 million views, but then it was all brand new accounts I set up, and I wanted to test it out. Yeah. And in 6 months, it had 9 million views on one video, and then it just grew and grew and grew and grew. And then was it last 4 months, I think we're over 100 million views just on like the podcast and the social media.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
That's doing something right.
Working hard. Working hard is what it is.
It's not easy to get there.
No, it's tough. Yeah, it's very, very tough. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's not easy. People, we thought, I was like, hey, you know what? Let's just make some videos. But then
it's a business. It's a lot of work behind the scenes. Yeah, people think it's just talking to the camera, but it's a lot of work behind the scenes.
Technical stuff, the content itself.
Plus also running a business. Yeah. So like content isn't my main business. It's real estate, investments, private equity businesses. And then then you got to find time to film and record and podcast and interview. And it's a lot of work.
That's
juggling around.
Struggle all the time. Yep. It's just getting the time and getting the right moment, and then you're posting, and sometimes it's discouraging because you post something that's great, it doesn't happen, and then you post something else.
Oh, I don't care about
stupid.
That.
Yeah,
I don't care.
You get used
I have flops and I have hits. I don't really care. Yeah.
We're still at that point where we're like, oh my God, the disappointments, and I think it's just you have to look past
the trick for that to avoid the disappointments in social media is you got to film a backlog and just post all the backlog. And then if one fails, you don't care because another one's going to hit tomorrow and another one's going to hit tomorrow. You're not filming. So you're not like in your head going, oh shit, I did such a crappy job that like you're discouraged to film. You've already filmed 90 clips. Yeah. So you're just posting. And then one of them hits. You're like, okay, let me do this again. I love this again. So that's one way to get over that. Pump, if you hit a video that sucks, just have a lot of backstock footage.
It's so funny. My son today, he had posted this thing on TikTok and he had like 50,000 views. He goes, Dad, look, I posted the stupidest thing on it. And he's posted a picture with sound. That's it. A guy that had he threw up and it's on the ground and it's just the dumbest picture you can ever find. He got 50,000. He goes, Dad.
Well, content does better without talking.
Yeah.
Because it shows it to everybody. When you talk, it only limits it to English speakers. So then your reach is less. But if you don't talk and it's just music, it'll go to the whole world. But if you speak English, it goes, well, non-English speakers don't want to see this. I'll only show it to only English speakers. Oh, wow. So it limits your reach a lot as well.
That's probably what it is too. How do you avoid that as far as, let's say, podcasting, you in your case? How do you overcome that?
Overcome as far as like the content wise? Well, it really depends. Like if you have 10 million followers on TikTok, that relates to having 1 million followers on Instagram. And that 1 million Instagram followers relates to having 100,000 subs on YouTube. That's the value. Like, so the main value of followers is on YouTube. YouTube has the highest value for the subscribers. So you really want to just make your content more YouTube friendly and like make it more for YouTube than TikTok. TikTok is the least value when it comes, because it just shows it to everybody. You can't really monetize on that. You can't really do anything with that. Instagram is the second best. The first best is for YouTube. So you want to optimize your videos for YouTube, and then you want to build like I said, a niche for that. So you get your recurring subscribers just following and listening and watching that specific content.
Yeah. So YouTube is the best way to basically.
YouTube's the most valuable. Again, 10 million viewers, 10 million subs on TikTok is the equivalent of 1 million subs on Instagram, which is equivalent of 100,000 on YouTube. So if you have 1 million followers on YouTube, I mean, you're like 100 million on TikTok, valuation wise.
Yeah. As far as making money too.
Yeah, of course. Well, actually, I mean, I could look back, like on 40 million views, we made like $3,000 on YouTube. So sometimes it seems like you like a lot of views equals money, but it really doesn't. It just really depends on what specific topics you're talking about, what the click-through rate is on that, how long people watch it, and then what topic you're talking about. Because finance gets the highest payout. If you talk about entertainment, it might not be as high. So it just really depends on what topic you're talking about and what your audience is.
There's a lot of tricks. There's
A lot of nuances to the business. Yeah,
it's you need a scientist to go behind the whole thing.
Yeah,
because no matter how you do it, and because I see a lot of people like have a lot of followers on, let's say, TikTok, and you go onto Instagram, they're very dominating, and then you go to YouTube, they have like 1,000, 2,000 followers. You're like, what the hell happened?
Well, a lot of people buy their followers too. So if you go on Instagram, for example, if someone's got 1 million followers, but then their videos do like 1,000 views and like 50 likes and like 2 comments, they bought their followers.
Yeah.
So and also sometimes they'll buy the likes so that they'll get like 5,000 likes, but 2 comments. And then you'll read the comments. It's like fire, good, amazing, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what is this? Like, you bought your followers and you bought your audience. But that makes it worse for that channel. Because if you buy your followers or you buy your likes, it just nosedives it into nothing. And it becomes like, because what happens is when you're buying likes and views, these are bot farms in India or in China. So what it's telling the algorithm is, hey, all these people in India want to see this content. So you release something about, like, let's say Beverly Hills or LA, it goes all to India people. None of them are interested in it. So your videos all rank 0. And so it kills your channel.
Nah.
So it's pointless.
Look, it's a vanity thing. Some people want to have like 1 million subs, so they have the 1 million subs. But guys that are in the industry, like, we can tell right away, oh, that's fake.
Yeah.
Because you look at it and
you'll know right away from the comments. You'll know from like just things don't add up.
Engagement's
terrible. Yeah, you can tell right away. And what happens is, again, it becomes a vanity thing for some people. They just want to get like the 1 million subs, but there's no engagement there. And usually if you have less followers, but you have really engaging content, that's more valuable because that's reaching the actual audience and that's what the audience wants to see. So your engagement is more valuable than the actual followers.
Yeah. And you can also monetize, right?
You could, if you have a product or if people like you and want to do business with you, it helps.
Exactly. Now, should we go back into real estate?
Oh, dive in.
I wanna dive back in. Who was the Makan before
social media?
Social media, what you used to do and how you got it all started.
So I started as an investor. I think I was 14. I remember at the time I wanted to get into real estate. I just loved it. This is way back here in LA. And then when I was 18, I bought my first investment property in Woodland Hills. I made every single mistake you could possibly make. I bought an investment property and I put in the contract that the tenant would have to be out of the property. Long story short, I ended up suing the seller to sell me the property because he wanted to back out of the deal because the market shot up while we were in escrow. He wanted to back out of the deal. So I had to sue him to buy the property. Once I bought the property, I stripped it myself, rehabbed it, fixed it up. I got a tenant to come in. A tree fell on the house because there was a dead tree on the property. And as soon as the tenant's about to move in, tree falls on the house. I'm like, great, now I got to sue my insurance. So I'm 18 years old. I sued the seller to force him to sell me the property. Now I'm suing the insurance to get money to fix the property so the tenant can move in. Then after the tenant moves out, I light rehab the property again. I put it up on the market and I sell it. And the buyer sues me like a year later, says you sold the property for too high of a value. So that property taught me like almost everything that you could possibly think of. And then I realized I didn't understand finance, and I'm the type of personality I have to do a deep dive. So I worked for a mortgage-backed securities company, and I used to sell mortgage-backed securities to Wall Street, and I learned it from like Wall Street to, to the retail consumer, how mortgages worked. And then I opened up my own mortgage company, my own real estate company, my own escrow company. Then the 2007, 2008 mortgage crisis happened. When that happened, I shifted into short sales. I did over 400 short sales when we're negotiating debt. Like properties were $2 million, but they owe $3 million. We would negotiate the debt down from $3 million to, $1.5 million. And then the seller could sell the property. The debt would get settled. They wouldn't get foreclosure. So I did about 400 of those. And then went into commercial real estate in about 2013, 14, because I was like, I've done everything in real estate. Haven't done commercial because this is a good old boys club and it's hard to get in. So I went to Marcus and Millichap, which is the Goldman Sachs of commercial real estate. It's like boiler room, hardcore, tough. Did that for about 10 years. And then I slowly shifted into private equity. I met a business partner of mine who moved here from Vienna. We did some deals together, made some good money, and then shifted into private equity and been doing private equity and investments and all that ever since.
I wonder what's next.
Well, social media stuff. My ADD and OCD of like perfectionism is now like dialed into social media, and I'm like, this is like, how do I crack the code and how do I grow this?
Figure it out.
Yeah. So it's been fun. I've done everything in real estate, A to Z, like all aspects of it. Where like I feel like I don't know. I feel like I've already like topped it. I can't like learn anymore. The brokerage side about, I want to say about like maybe 10 years ago. So I stopped doing lending. I stopped doing real estate sales, and I've just been more on my own personal investments, building, I think the last cool project I built was a shipping container 4-story apartment building. It was one of the first ones in the city of LA, and did a master lease with the city of LA to bring in homeless people in there. That was like the coolest project. And then I realized how dirty politics actually is dealing with the city. And then, yeah.
Mafia, I think that's what I always say. Mafia is always better to do business with than politicians.
Yeah, I mean, they're very dirty. We finished this apartment building. This was a deal we did with the city of LA with the homeless authority. And the building finished in August. We signed a lease with the city. They did a master lease with Project Home Key that they're going to lease the entire building, and they're going to put in homeless people, take people off the street and put them in there. We signed in August, and September comes around, building's empty. October comes, building's empty. I call the guys at the city. I'm like, hey, what's going on? How come you guys aren't moving people in? They're like, oh, we're doing a grand opening in November. I was like, okay, why November? They're like, oh, because, it's Thanksgiving and we want to have like, people coming off the street in Thanksgiving. So they call me, they're like, hey, next week we're going to have the grand opening. Why don't you come? The news is going to be there. So I get there. LA Times is there. Daily News is there. Channel 7 is there. All the news outlets are there. I'm like, what's going on? They're like, Karen Bass is basically handing keys to these homeless people to show that they're like letting people in for the holidays, for Thanksgiving. I'm like, the building sat empty for 4 months, all for a photo op opportunity to get all these people off the streets just to have like a photo op opportunity. Then I realized, okay, politics is pretty dirty. Like, they don't really care about people. They just look for photo ops. That's what it is behind the scenes.
Yeah, now you see like a lot of LA stuff, they're getting cleaned up because of the election.
Yeah, election, the World Cup.
Yeah. Now I saw one, actually, the police department was cleaning it up. They came in and they started cleaning the whole place. And I was like, where were you guys up until now?
Yeah, they don't care.
Election time, she started working. Mayor Bess, when she got elected, she worked for 2 months. They were cleaning some stuff. Nothing.
It's interesting. Another thing that I found is how much money they waste is once they had the lease and the tenants moved in and everything, I get a phone call. They're like, Makan, we want to give internet to all the units inside the building. I said, okay, go ahead. Call Time Warner and set up the service. They're like, well, we got a bid for $50,000. I'm like, $50,000? It's only 20 units. Where are you getting $50,000 from? I went over there. I'm like, what are you talking about? Just get 4 like wireless access points per floor, put 4 up, have a hub, and most you're going to spend is like $200, $300.
Yeah.
where's this $50,000 bid coming from? They're like, whoa, we can't just go to Best Buy and buy and install this. We have to go to a contractor. This contractor has to go through an NGO. This NGO is doing the work. I'm like, okay, I get it. $50,000 to do Wi-Fi for the building.
That's where all of our tax.
Yeah, basically. I realized then. I'm like, okay, shut your mouth. This is the whole game. Yeah, this is the whole game.
This is why we have write-offs.
Yeah,
NGOs are the biggest.
Yeah,
so
they are. They are.
It costs. That's what we were talking about with the last guy that we had on here, and where everything costs so much. Just doing a simplest thing with the government, it just takes so much time.
You want me to give you an example? We built 20 units, privately funded. It cost us $4 million. My business partner, who's in this deal, is also in another deal that she did 100% public funded and had to go through the government and have government tax dollars and everything. They spent $25 million to build 40 units. We built 20 units. It cost us $4 million. They built 40 units and it cost them $25 million to build. Just the difference. They have to use prevailing wages. They have to use certain contractors. They have to do a whole laundry list. Because it was a 100% affordable project, it had to follow all the 100% affordable measures and rules and regulations and use, those contractors that they had to go with.
Good. There goes all the affordability.
I mean, yeah.
Taking our
private funds versus public funds. Yeah, exactly.
Because they don't run it. And even Jeff Bezos, did you see that interview?
Amazing interview.
And he said, if New York City did everything, if delivered, he goes, it would have taken 6 weeks to deliver it. It'll cost them $100. And at the end of the day, you'll get the wrong product.
Yeah.
It's just, that's how the city works.
Yeah. They're backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's never efficient because, people, I don't understand where people want to give more power to the government. Hey, okay, take care of every aspect of my life. They can even do simple things, cleaning the streets, potholes.
Forget that.
Getting
compare DMV to AAA.
Yeah.
Both do services. Go to the DMV and pick up your registration paperwork versus go to AAA. AAA take you 5 minutes. DMV will take you the whole entire day.
I think when they get hired, they say, when you get hired, if you're hiring somebody, you'll say, okay, how fast you are, how efficient you are, what have you done? I think when they hire them, they say, how slow are you, or how slow can you do it?
Yeah.
I swear to God, it's almost like as if they're hiring the people specifically that they work on a, one type a minute. You go there, you look at them, you're like, man, what is this system? Like they're going this, going 10 different screens. You're like, man, it's just the auto registration,
You heard the new rule that they're trying to pass?
No.
Ban barbecues.
Oh, yeah, that's...
banning barbecues. That's as smart as saying, let's ban the color blue.
Yeah, that's a stupid...
It's like, what? Banning barbecues?
No, like literally banning...
Like backyard barbecue. Backyard barbecue. They're trying to ban... In LA, they're trying to ban backyard barbecues.
It's that lady, right?
Nithya Raman. She's the bonehead that runs the district that I live in. Let me tell you how bad she is.
Yeah.
She runs Council District 4, okay? That's Encino. I live in Encino. When she was running it and defunding the police and saying, oh, who cares about crime? We had 400 burglaries in a 6-month period in Encino. And then you know what she goes? She goes, oh, you shouldn't be having expensive things behind a glass, behind your house. You shouldn't have expensive things there. If your cars, she actually tried to sue Toyota to say you make it too easy for people to steal the catalytic converters. It's Toyota's fault.
They're so stupid. I don't know how people vote for this kind of people.
I know how, because what they do is they say, we're going to tax the billionaires. We're going to make housing more affordable by putting a lot of laws and restrictions on landlords. And what that does is a great talking point that, oh yeah, this person's going to do something for me. But what they do is they do so much harm that all the landlords leave LA, developers leave LA, nobody builds in LA. So you don't get new construction coming in, you don't get new housing, and then prices go up. That's the exact opposite.
They have no clue. I don't know.
They're incompetent. They don't have any experience in anything.
They don't know. Either they're just doing it on purpose or getting paid to do it.
They have no experience. They have no experience.
Yeah.
And they don't listen to developers. Like it just, this ULA tax. You guys familiar with ULA? The mansion tax that they put?
Yeah, 5% or
it's basically if you sell a property for over $5 million, it was supposed to be called a mansion tax, but it's not really mansion. It's on apartment buildings, office buildings, shopping centers, gas stations, car washes, anything you sell over $5 million,
Yeah.
you got to pay 4% homeless tax right off the top. If it's over $10 million, it's 5.5%. Now, keep this in mind. You have to pay commissions, which is like 5 to 6%. You have to pay transfer tax, which is 1%. And now you have to pay another 4%. So you're paying 10% off the top when you build a new project. So if you build something for $5 million and you sell it, $500,000 off the top goes to tax and junk fees. You're not going to make money. So you're not going to build the project. What are you going to do? You're going to go outside of City of LA and build because they don't have those. So all the developments go in the outside City of LA. That's why the real estate market's down. That's why billionaires are leaving. That's why all businesses are leaving LA. That's why tax revenue is down. And that's why we're in this mess in LA. And Nithya Raman was one that chaired it. And Karen Bass, they pushed it.
Yeah, I just don't understand how stupid can it be where people don't realize, hey, this is affecting us. This is going to actually backfire on us.
It doesn't affect them, though. Because they get LAPD protecting them. They still live in a house.
No, not meaning the average person who votes for this idiot.
The issue is this. The issue is you've got one landlord and you got 10 tenants.
Yeah.
So why do you care about what the landlord, even though they're going to contribute to the economy, they're going to build housing, who cares about him? Because he's only one vote. The tenants that don't know any better will vote for me. I'll get the votes. I'll get the power. I'll give the money to the NGOs. I'll get my kickbacks. I'll stay in power. I'll tell the tenants what they want to hear. And then when I don't deliver that, I'll keep blaming the landlords. That's the model.
Yeah.
That's the rinse and repeat model.
Yeah, all they gotta do is just point fingers at the rich. That's
Be like, oh, the rich is the problem.
They
I'm
just
doing
tax
my
them.
best. They're not paying their fair share. I'm doing my best.
Yeah.
And you just keep blaming them.
Like Karen Bass's commercial was like saying, I want to take care of everything. We worked hard. We're like, what the hell did you do?
Bro, she didn't do shit. I'm so sorry, but she didn't do shit for Pasadena whenever our fires.
You know what she
did
said?
nothing.
She said homeless count is down. Do you want to know why it's down?
They're dead.
8,000 people die every year being homeless. That's why homeless is down.
They were saying this statistically. They said 6 people die a day on the streets.
It's sad.
And
it's
they're
unfortunate.
counting
It shouldn't
this
happen.
idiot.
Go to San Francisco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go to San Francisco for 5 minutes. Drive through San Francisco.
And they counting those deaths as they did something. No, you just killed these people.
But half of those deaths are probably their voters.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have people.
That person got caught.
Which person?
I forgot her name, but it was on the news. She was getting votes in Skid Row.
Oh,
She
they
was,
do that all day long. You
yeah.
go to Skid Row, there's people like farming and getting
she got
signatures all
caught.
day long.
Yeah,
Good.
she
I'm
just-
glad she got caught.
She got. I think they're putting her into some.
They're gonna
prosecute them and
slap
stuff
the
like
wrist, slap the wrist, and say, "Oh, you got caught. We got to make an example out of you." And
Yeah,
keep
it's
doing it.
dead, and I always say, my grandma has been voting since she's been gone.
Yeah, yeah.
She can't come back, but her votes do matter.
They always
Yeah.
count. Yeah.
So that's the thing. Now, let's say, for example, in LA, you do a lot of the stuff in LA
I
because
stopped. It's been a year and a half that I haven't done any deals in LA.
deals, yeah.
And all my developer friends, it's not like we're vengeful. It's just that nothing pencils out.
Yeah.
Because of just the overregulation that comes in, and it's all anti-landlord, anti-investor, anti-developer.
Yeah.
And it's like, look, we will only do deals if it makes sense because it's not up to us. It's up to the banks.
Yeah.
If the banks don't lend because they don't feel like it's safe for them to lend, we can't build. If we can't build, we can't have more housing and then prices go up. We don't want the prices to go up. I'd rather be able to build 1,000 units and have housing for 1,000 people because that's going to create competition. I'm going to have to lower my price because the next guy is going to lower his price because it's going to be too much inventory. If we can't build, inventory is tough to build and there's not enough housing, prices go up.
And also, I think with these mega buildings, those are one of the reasons why rents went up is because of those mega buildings as well.
Which ones?
Like, 400 units, 500 units they build. And then now mom's and pop shop next door, they're like, oh, you know what? I used to rent it for $1,500. Now these guys are renting it for $3,000. Hey, instead of 15, I'm going to do 22. And what happened was they got to 22.
So here's the thing. That does work to a point. So yeah, that's called, like you're talking about gentrification of an area. The gentrification obviously does because if you come in and you build 400 new units and people move in and then everyone around it goes, oh, it's a nice area. I want to come in. All the new coffee shops come in. Everything comes in. Yeah, rents go up in the area. But if you have a brand new 400 unit building and another one opens up next to you and he's sitting half empty, he's going to lower his prices. You're forced to lower your prices and so forth.
Yeah.
But if you're the only one because it's so difficult to build around you and it's so expensive to build around you and you're the only building, you could charge whatever you want because you're going to have demand. But if 10 other buildings get built next to you, guess what's going to happen? You're going to have to charge less for rent, and everyone gets a great deal. And that's how the local the tenants win. You want more competition for the tenants.
Plain old competition.
Yeah, it's just supply and demand. Right? Yeah, exactly.
I'm just surprised that you haven't moved to Florida yet.
The problem is this. I moved here as a kid. So, like, I don't want to have to leave my home with my family, my investments, just because we got some crappy politicians that have ruined California for everybody. I tell people that move to California, like last 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, you're not getting your money's worth. I enjoyed my time in LA. I loved the early 2000s, the party scene in LA. I had a great time. I have a great establishment in LA. I'm established in LA, you know?
Yeah.
So for me, it doesn't matter. I'm fine either way. I feel bad for all the new people coming in, all the newer kids that are graduating high school and college. They're the ones that I feel bad for. They're not going to be able to buy a house. They're not going to be able to invest. They're not going to be able to do anything. Their hands are tied because of all the red tape. And it doesn't affect the wealthy people, because the wealthy people have already made it. It's all the new kids, all the new generation that you want to help out. That's the problem. The reason why we fight so much against the politics, because they do such a bad job, is because we fight for the younger generation, because we need them to survive. We need them to be able to invest, to buy a home, to rent a place, have affordable housing. It's for them. It's not for us.
Yeah, it's true, because I mean, affordability itself. Now people can't even afford their own homes if they
can't afford gas. They can't afford gas. Let's start with that. Like, they can't afford. We're paying on average $1.45 per gallon more than any other state.
Yeah.
Just start with gas. I mean, this is like contractors going to work. This is your housekeeper going to work. Your nanny's going to work. It's just the California regulation is there's so much red tape that it's made it so much more expensive for everyone to live here, live a normal life. And it's sad, and it needs to change.
You know what Chevron did?
Yeah, they closed shop. Well, no, they put the signs. They put the signs, yeah.
It's not us, it's your state.
It is. It's true. If you're at a gas station, all you have to do is look at state tax and federal tax. Federal tax is like 18 cents. State tax is like 55 cents. Yeah. That's just that. They don't even talk about the special blend that we need to import, because we have to have
bullshit stuff.
Yeah, special blend of gas that has to come in for the summer because it's clean burning. Well, what happens? Air
the whole place is the whole place is burning.
I know, the whole place is burning. All this smog that's coming in from like the Simi Valley fires, the Palisades fires. Not to mention, winds shift.
Yeah.
So like smog from China eventually comes over here. Like, what are we thinking? Why are we paying for 40 million people that have to pay for 8 billion people's pollution?
Yep. It's such a when they're talking about the blend, right? You blend the stuff to save the air.
Yeah.
Then you have the city burning.
And we got the city burning, exactly.
It's like one burn. It takes care of like 20 years or 10 years of air pollution.
And this isn't like clean burn too. This is like, tires, toxins, like houses burning is like toxic.
It's unbelievable what they do.
Yeah.
Talking about Nevada, but the economy's bad when Vegas is doing bad.
I was just in Vegas, actually. It is so bad.
Is it?
It's very bad.
I love Vegas, but I feel so bad. Vegas was completely dead.
Really?
Like, just completely.
On the weekends too, or like the weekdays?
EDC. This is right after EDC. So it was like EDC was ending. The commercial real estate convention was there. And I'm like looking, I'm like, wow, Vegas they are trying to make money out of thin air. Valets $50, walking in saying hello, you got to pay $20.
Yeah.
I mean, like, they were charging for everything. Everything.
Yeah, it's like.
Did you hear about the new thing they're implementing?
Which one?
You know how like you could go to like Mexico hotels, it's all inclusive and stuff.
Oh yeah,
they're implementing that now.
What do you mean all inclusive? Like food, beverage, everything's included?
Yeah.
Really?
I think Excalibur, is doing it.
I think MGM is doing it.
MGM does some things.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So they really want you like stuck there.
I think it's the buffet or something, right? So
no, I think it's just like everything.
The problem is everyone's on Ozempic. So like when they go to Vegas, like what are they going to eat? They can't even eat the food. So like bring the price down. Like, who can afford?
You know, you have a party and then everybody's not eating. You're like, what the hell?
You go to restaurants, no one's eating. I go to a restaurant with friends, and I'm like, we order for 2 people, and it's like 12 people at a table. I'm like, guys, this is embarrassing. Like, our bill is $80. It should be like $800. Everyone's on. The other day, we're at Sushi Samba in West Hollywood. Have you guys been?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're there. And like the wait, I'm like placing orders. I'm like 1 steak, 1 this, 1 that, and I see on her list she's writing 2 steaks, 2 this, 2 that, 2 this, because it's all small, like tapas style. Then I turn to her, I'm like, yo, everyone's on drugs at this table. Like, no one's gonna be able to eat all this. So she starts crossing off the list and like reducing the order. Order comes, everyone's like 2 bites and full. I'm like, man.
Kids menu.
Kids menu, exactly. Like kids menu is too much food.
It's gonna be the Ozempic special.
Yeah. Kids portions.
Yeah, a lot of, I don't know what's happening with that, but I think there's going to be a lot of problems in the future. You know, it's like
with peptides
Ozempic and all that stuff that they're taking in, pumping in, you know, and
you gotta look at it this way. If someone's morbidly obese, that's way worse than going on a GLP, losing weight, and like, okay, what's your trade-off? You're morbidly obese, you're gonna get like cancer, diabetes, and a whole bunch of other diseases. You can barely walk, your back hurts, your knees hurt, you can't move. That, or take a drug, lose the weight, you may get cancer, you may not. You know what I mean? Like, you got to look at your trade-offs. You take your gamble. But if you go to the doctor, you get your blood work done, you constantly monitor yourself, you eat better, you go to the gym, and you take these drugs to help you a little bit. I think, you know, in net positive, it might be a little bit better than not doing anything.
Your odds are higher.
Odds are probably higher. Yeah. I mean, look, people smoke, people drink. That's like poison anyway. So, like, okay, this is a drug that's going to make you lose weight.
You'll die maybe a week later.
The Russians say, you know, if you're healthy, you don't smoke, you don't drink, you die a healthy non-smoker, non-drinker. So, like, it doesn't matter.
Enjoy it while you can.
Enjoy it while you can.
Either you die eating or you die starving. You know,
yeah, you're gonna die either way.
It's gonna be.
They say the average lifespan is 75, but the average health span is 65.
Yeah.
So from 65 to 75, you're going in and out of the hospitals. The whole point of the whole longevity clinic, health, wellness, peptides is so that from 65 to 75, you're not going back and forth to hospitals, and you're living a healthy life. That's the whole point of the whole thing.
I guess you're right with the trade-off, and you know, if you're diabetic or you're fat, you know, like you overweight.
Yeah, if you're trying to lose 5 pounds because you're going for like a wedding, okay, maybe you don't need it. But like if you're like, you know, morbidly obese, it might be beneficial to.
But I think a lot of people abuse it too.
Of course they do.
You know, it's like,
of course they do.
I think that's the laziness talking in people.
Yeah,
they get
instant gratification. Yeah.
It's like, why would I work out if I have this?
Magic bottle, work out in a bottle.
Save so much time.
Exactly.
It's always the easy. I think U.S. we are so privileged that, you know, we pay for us not to eat.
Well, we have so much free time and so much freedom and so many gifts that this country gives us that we have the luxury of complaining about being able to eat too much and not having to work out and like taking pills and peptides so that we can just do absolutely nothing and get whatever results we want.
And we complain, you know,
and
you
we
see people complain.
Ways.
Yeah, they're like, oh, this country is so crazy, you know, and it's so bad that we have to medicate ourselves to stop eating. You know, where people in the other countries, they'll die to eat.
Yeah.
You know, they're starving, you know, and it's just, they have not even a 1 meal or like just the rice. And we complain about everything.
That's why we're so privileged and blessed to be here.
Yeah. It's just people don't realize it. I think, where are you from originally?
Persian.
Okay. So, you know, like we're the same, you know, we came here because, you know, obviously we loved everything we were in. We won't be here. Our parents wouldn't be here. Right.
Yeah.
And they brought us here for what?
Well, I say I'm Persian, but I'm American. But ethnically I'm Persian, but I'm American.
That's the opportunity that we have here, where you can do anything you want to. And, you know, that we go into the same thing as far as the dream, you know, the American dream, owning a home. You know, a lot of people, you know, they literally gave up on the hope of buying a house. What do you think about that? You know, what about input on that, you know?
Well, when I was growing up here, there definitely was an American dream to buy a home. Right now, I don't think it financially makes sense to own a home. I think you're better off. Again, what you see and hear on social media that people say buy real estate, invest in real estate. It's location specific. There's people that it may make sense for you to own a home in Idaho, in Louisiana, in Missouri. That may make sense for you. But in Los Angeles, it doesn't make sense for you to own a home. There's a ton of regulation, there's a ton of fees, and it's just way more expensive to own a home. You're better off renting a house and investing what you would have paid to own a house in a stock market. And that will make you more money in the long run than it will investing in real estate in the city of Los Angeles. Now, if you live in Idaho and you can buy a house that's cheaper than renting, then buy a house. That may be great for you. You have to you can't take what someone says as like an end all be all and it applies nationwide. It's very, very specific. But major metropolitan areas, New York, Dallas, Florida, Miami, LA, San Francisco, these areas, because there's priced out, the prices are very, very high, that it generally makes more sense for you to rent and to invest money into the stock market so that you can keep up with inflation. Yeah. On average, you need to have at least a 7% return on your money at a very minimum just to keep up with inflation going up.
Yeah. Because, your rent is not going up, but your power is going down every year.
Yeah, because your purchasing power is just getting destroyed every single year.
We see it in our pockets every year. Sometimes I tell my wife, I'm like, back in the days where, we made less, but we were still, okay. Well, but now we're making 3-4 times the money.
And you don't have anything to show for it.
Yeah, it's insane. It's like, end of the month, you're like, wait a minute. This is, I was always dreaming making this,
Yeah.
Or I was doing this, but it's not what it sounds or cut out to be.
I mean, the costs are just coming out of nowhere. Like, for example, insurance was never an issue.
Yeah.
Insurance was always like $1,000 a year for housing insurance. It was never a thing. Now, I mean, like my insurance was like $40,000 for renewal for a house.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do you go from 5,000 to 20,000 to 40,000 in a matter of 3 years? Obviously, I mean, these are expenses that you got to absorb, and it comes out of somewhere else.
We deal with that every day. We're on our side, in the insurance side. I see the pain and I see the difference. And you look at it, people call you and you're like, man, why did it go up? It's 6 times, 2 times.
It's an insane amount.
I'm like, and unfortunately, everybody has to pay.
And again, that's because there's no competition in California. If there was more insurance carriers in California, they could compete and we get lower prices. But they made it difficult to do business. The insurance companies left.
And Bucara wants to do the opposite. He's like, you know what? I want to regulate them. I want to stop the rates. I'm like, this is the reason why this is happening.
Yeah.
Because in the 2020, 21, they froze everything. They said, you know what? You cannot increase anything. So Travelers left. I had a lot of good companies like Travelers. I had a lot of clients in there. They were amazing in rates. They were amazing in claims. I mean, a really good company. They said, you know what? We don't want to even do business. Now they're like they're canceling every client that I have.
I got so many cancellation letters, and I'm like, okay. At this point, I'll get even non-admitted insurance carriers. I'm like, oh, they're not going to pay, but I need insurance to satisfy my lender.
They will pay, but it's
good luck chasing it. Yeah, good luck chasing it.
Because it's a Lloyd's of London.
Yeah, exactly. Lloyd's.
But it's like, go sue us.
Yeah.
We have $1 trillion, $600 trillion.
Yeah, and we're not even in California. Yeah. So like, good luck chasing us. Yeah. So, yeah, the politicians have really ruined the state.
Yeah, and even the FAIR Plan, we deal with the FAIR Plan.
California FAIR Plan doesn't even. There's only a limit that they cover anyway, and they don't even pay.
I hate dealing with them because as an agent,
they pay $7 commission as an agent, so you're not making anything.
Yeah, you have no chance to do anything else outside. And if you have an issue that you need to contact somebody, forget it. It's like, man, you guys are $1 million, millions of dollars you're spending. And you guys can figure out a simple transactional, simplified way of doing business.
Because the name says it all.
Yeah.
California.
FAIR Plan. That same thing happened to us with Affordable Care Act. Mm-hmm. Where because I was in the business at that time, we thought it was going to be great, all that stuff, but they destroyed it.
You want to know an interesting fact? So I'm in a car club with a bunch of friends, and they're mostly doctors. I have a friend who's a orthopedic surgeon. He said, Makan, when I do a double hip replacement surgery and it's 4 months of post-op follow-up, how much money do you think I make from the insurance company? How much do you think the insurance bills? And how much money do you think I make? What do you think he would get paid? How much would the insurance charge for double hip replacement surgery and 4 months of post-op follow-up with the patient?
I think I'm shooting high, but like 50, 60,
Okay. How much do you think the insurance actually pays him for that surgery?
maybe 20.
$1,200. He gets paid $1,200. I'm like, how are you affording a Ferrari? Like, what do you do to make this money? He goes, oh, I do IMEs. I'm like, what the hell's an IME? He goes, it's when I have to write a report for the attorneys for an accident case. I do it's basically they write they write a report for accident victims that are like slip and fall or whatever. They need to go see a doctor, and they write a report for a lawsuit. He goes, oh, we make $2,000 to $3,000 per report, and it takes me 30 minutes to do those. I do 5 of those every Friday. I make my money on that. Surgeries, I get $1,200. I don't really make money on the surgeries.
And most of them is the client is on the hook for.
Yeah, well, because the client has to pay their copay, all this stuff, and the insurance is collecting all the premiums and everything, and they're only paying $1,200.
Man,
So where is all that insurance money going though?
it's all the marketing.
Well, look, the insurance has like a deal with the hospitals that they go, okay, for someone comes in, they have this book price that they have to charge $10,000, but it's not really a $10,000 rate. If you go into a hospital, you have to pay $10,000, but the insurance has like a different price that they pay. So they force you to get insurance, and if you don't get insurance, you have to pay a high price.
Wow.
Yeah, either way, you're kind of screwed.
Yeah.
What they did was increase the deductibles, increase the out-of-pocket costs, increase the premiums, and they said, you know what, this is affordable.
Yeah.
Who's it affordable for? They said, oh, you know what, people that have no insurance, and back in the day, when somebody, even now, if you go into a hospital, and if you, let's say, for example, you are on vacation here, you get hurt, you go to the hospital, they have to take care of you.
No matter what.
No matter what. They can't say, oh, you need to pay. Like, some countries, you go, good luck. You have to pay before, you're dying, you have to figure it out, oh, man. But in the U.S., any hospital you walk in, they have to treat you and then collect later. So a lot of people, what they used to do is if they can't collect from you, what do? They wrote it off. So now they figure it out. How can we make money off of these people that cannot afford to pay, because they're not going to get insurance anyways, or if we're going to give it to them for free, we're going to build the government. And who they're billing?
Us, the taxpayers.
Exactly. They don't care. That's why the medications are $700 for Tylenol. In
At the hospital.
At the hospital, man. I'm like, how the hell do you? Who is it? Gold plated?
Yeah.
Who gave this Tylenol? It's like it's crazy, man. It's, but unfortunately, I think government cannot run anything sufficient.
No.
And
It's not designed for that.
Yeah.
They're designed to protect us. That's it. Like, protect us from wars and foreign invaders.
That's it.
Like, don't tell me that I can't build a house here because I don't know, there's like a bird that nests there, and that's the reason why you can't build here. Like, what does that bird have to do with like housing? But they do.
And then there's a fire, takes all the birds.
Exactly. It kills all the birds. I'm like, okay, you didn't care about the fire killing all the birds, but you cared about me building a house here.
They didn't clean the forest, so they didn't clean anything.
I get fines because I live in a hillside. Every year I have to clean my brush. I do brush clearing. I don't do it, I get a penalty. Yeah. Meanwhile, the whole entire mountain, the city doesn't take care of, and then the whole freaking place burns down.
Your house burns down too because they didn't clean it.
We had to evacuate for 2 weeks. I wasn't allowed back to my house for 2 weeks because of the stupid fires.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
I still believe there's still hope in other states.
Where?
Man, I don't know. I would say Texas, Florida. I'm aiming towards Florida.
Look, if you don't have family here and you don't have your house or business, established career here, don't stay in California. Move to Florida, move somewhere fun, and have the time of your life.
Yeah.
Okay? I had the time of my life in LA in the early 2000s. The club scene was amazing. The party scene was amazing. Money was amazing. Like, we could make money hand over fist. Everything was cheap. You could buy a house. You could buy, it was the most amazing place on earth from 2000 to 2015. LA was heaven.
Yeah.
After 2015, and all these new politicians came in, they passed all this red tape, businesses started shutting down, prices got more expensive, it got harder to make money. You have to work 4 times as hard to make half the amount of money that you used to make 20 years ago. Yeah. Okay? Yeah. All that got out of my system. That's why I'm like, I already lived my life. It was great. Like, I loved everything about it. I lived hard. You know what I mean? I don't need to really go anywhere now. But if you're new to California, you're not getting your money's worth living here. You're not getting your money's worth.
LA used to be alive. LA was just full of life. It was everywhere you went. It was just, there was so much energy, so much.
Sarkis, gas
life.
was $2 a gallon. Average rental was like $900 a month. You were making $5,000-$6,000 a month. $2 a gallon. Insurance for your house was $1,000 a year. You could buy a house for like $300,000 in a good area, and you could rent it for like $3,000 a month. And the clubs were $10 to get in. Drinks were like $8.
Man, we used to get tables.
You get tables for $500.
No, we used to go to this one place. I don't know if you know. Used to go there because about the same time. It used to call Las Palmas.
Oh, of course, Las Palmas, the Gate.
Yeah, we used to have a table there.
Shelter.
$150, man. They didn't charge us. You were there every Friday, every Saturday.
$500 was like for Century Club, or for Key Club, or for the Gate. I mean, so many clubs. There were so many parties. So many parties in LA.
Saturday night, Persian night, Army.
28.
You're 28?
Yeah.
Bro, you need to leave LA. You're not getting your money's worth.
Yeah.
When I was 28, I was partying Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We would party till 2 a.m, then go to after hours in the Hollywood Hills, then like get home at 5, sleep for 3 hours, get to work at 8, and like do that 7 days a week.
Yeah.
LA was a vibe back then. It is completely dead right now.
No, it definitely has died out like crazy.
A lot of people, when I made a video about how LA is dead, and like people were like, bro, you don't know, the afters are crazy. I went to the afters. I went to the downtown LA BS afters that they're talking
it's not
about.
the same.
It's horrible. It's trash.
Yeah.
It's trash compared to what it was 20 years ago. I wish you got to experience what LA was 20 years ago. You would be so pissed off paying the taxes you're paying the gas that you're paying, and paying the rent that you're paying, living in LA right now, and getting so little for your money.
Just the cruises alone was everything.
Which one? The cruising on Sunset?
Yeah, man, that was the best. Yeah.
Listen, there were so many people cruising on Sunset Boulevard that they put no cruising zone on Sunset Boulevard. The sheriff's department would be on one end of Sunset and another one on the other end of Sunset. They would write down your license plates. If you went 3 times, you would get a cruising ticket. And all we would do is go cruise, pick up girls, like in the nice car next to you, you know, like you'd pick up girls, go to a club, party, man, and then
best times.
Then,
if you miss there, you go to Pasadena.
Then there were so many places, so many things.
Yeah, there was no phones though. You know, that's
no evidence, and all the celebrities would party. I remember at Area now it's called Nightingale, or no, now it's called Zouk.
Is it the Gate originally?
It was originally the Gate, then it became Area. And Area was when Spencer Pratt used to go party there. The cast from The Hills would go, Paris Hilton would go, Lindsay Lohan would go. That was the place to be. And like that lasted for like a year and a half, 2 years. And again, no cell phones, no evidence. Everyone partied. Everyone had a great time. After that, everyone went to a Tremezino or to Barry's Pizza.
Oh man.
Oh god.
I don't know if you were at the Barry's at the time when they used to dance on the table.
Everyone danced on tables. It was on Third.
And then they cut that off, you know, because of fire. Like, you know, fire department came in and they had to like literally. Yeah. And then they're like, guys, you cannot. No more DJs, no more stuff. And then I think slowly, even today, sometimes when I pass by Barry,
you shed a tear. Shit, it's here. The good old days. Yeah,
you remembered a lot of the stuff. You know, it was just alive. I think a lot of the kids now, everything is on the phones. You know, people are just
whoever's going out now. I think they're just going out just for them to post something on their story. They're not posting. They're not going out to enjoy their time.
Because there's nothing to enjoy.
Yeah.
There's really, I'm being honest with you. There's really nothing to enjoy. I've gone to the clubs and I've gone to the warehouse parties. You know, the warehouse parties start at like 2.
Yeah.
And they like 3 o'clock is really when they start, and they go to like 6, 7 in the morning. And you got to be on text blast to be able to go. It's kind of like, I'm like, this isn't as good as it was 10, 20 years ago.
Because most of them are like out of their minds, drugged out.
Oh, well,
back in those days,
the reason why they don't drink. Here's the thing, because drinking is so expensive now. You go to any restaurant, it's like $30 a drink plus tax and tip, $25 to $30 tax and tip, and you gotta have like 5, 6 drinks to really have a good time. Or you do a $10 pill that they take, and they're messed up for 4 hours, and they're having a great time for $10 versus $200.
Yeah,
that's what no one's drinking anymore, because they're just doing drugs.
It's cheaper, and
it's way cheaper, and it lasts 4 hours. So I'm told.
Yeah. We never went.
No, I never went either. But I'm saying, like, our generation was like alcohol. We went, we drank, and
That's what the joy was,
Yeah.
Everybody was drunk. We drove sometimes, but the cops
we never drove drunk. We were responsible. We were very responsible. We had a designated driver.
It's so
That
crazy.
was more drunk than you were.
Yeah, exactly.
At least he didn't drive. Like I always say, hey, I didn't drive home.
Yeah.
He drove home. He might have been drunk too, but hey,
But he's the designated driver. We designated you to drive.
At least I got home safe.
Yeah. Yeah.
he brought me. Well, there was no taxis then.
Uber came at like 09, 10. Uber was slowly coming into the picture, and that was amazing. Because that was like, oh man, now we can all drink.
But still, people get caught, man. I get a lot of clients. When I see them DUI, I'm like, what? And sometimes I tell them, why were you this stupid?
In this day and age, to drive drunk, you got to be an idiot. Because
$20,
it's like,
$30, man.
yeah, you just Uber.
We used to go to one time from North Hollywood, a little bit further down. I went to Standard Hotel.
Okay.
And this guy charged me $110 to take me there because he ran the meter. And I told him, I said, bro, come on. It's like usually $40.
Yeah.
He's like, no, it's traffic. I'm like, it's not traffic, bro. There was no traffic.
Yeah.
They used to screw you.
Yeah.
But Uber, man, there's
good.
no
reason.
theft. Everything is transparent. You're not
And the
paying-
Koreans even figured out a better one. They have something called tongchi. Tongchi is if you're in K-Town and you're drunk, they get in your car, they drive your car to your house, they get out, and then they Uber back, and your car's even there.
Oh, shit.
So like it's
Or they chop your car.
well,
You wake up, you're like, where's my car?
where's my kitty? Forget the car. I need my kitty.
They took everything. Yeah. That's it.
But yeah, those
yeah.
good old times in LA.
LA is, and you talk a lot about the LA stuff, And,
Yeah.
and LA is, when you grow up here, it's a little bit different than when people come in and they see the
It's
difference.
different,
I always tell people I love LA because this is where I've been. 40 years. You have your family here. It's so hard to leave and go to let's
We
say
shouldn't have
Florida,
to leave. We
Miami,
shouldn't have to
or,
leave. Yeah.
Why should you? I mean, yeah, if you get priced out, even worse. But if you bought something that were good, you're still surviving. Mm-hmm. The people that are new, like, he just got married. Now if you have a kid, the expense of that, and then, on top
All
of
the
that.
vaccines you got to take.
Yep.
You got to make sure, there's a lot of stuff you got to do.
It's insane. I don't know how young people, and they come. Yeah. They're still coming.
No, come. Enjoy.
Yeah.
Come. If LA was as good as it was 20 years ago, we'd have more people coming to LA. We want people to come to LA because it's going to help our economy. It's going to grow our economy. It's going to make it a beautiful, more vibrant city. But we just want everyone to experience what we all experienced back then because it was so much better. Prices were lower. The smiles per dollar were way higher back then than they are today.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know where we're moving to. It's with politicians, the backyard thing.
Mm-hmm. No
cooking,
backyard barbecue. Yeah, great job.
Yeah,
that's really going to solve the problem we got. My problem was, my neighbor's barbecue.
Can you imagine telling that to Latinos?
Oh,
and
yeah.
say no barbecue, Armenians, no
Persians, Armenians, you can't barbecue kebabs? Are you crazy?
They're gonna do it. I'm like, I'll do it in the front.
Yeah.
Because it says backyard.
Yeah,
I'll do
front
it.
yard.
I'll do it on the roof.
Yeah.
They didn't say anything about the roof, and it's just same thing they did with the
It's
fireplaces
Memorial Day
too, right?
weekend, 4th of July weekend. That's all we do. It's barbecue season. Don't have a barbecue in your backyard.
So
Get out of here.
And you have the hills burning up, and they're worried about me barbecuing for 10
Nithya
minutes.
Ron is not even from LA. She moved here in 2013. You're gonna come 2013 and tell us how we're gonna live in Los Angeles? You're not an Angeleno. Don't tell us what to do.
Especially the culture here.
Yeah.
Remember that one time that they made fireworks illegal during the pandemic time?
but
when
That's because we deserved it.
it was like crazy, bro.
We deserve it. There's certain laws that they passed that we absolutely deserve. Have you been to South Central and the Hood during 4th of July?
Oh, it's crazy.
It's
Bro, they got
insane.
fireworks better than Disneyland.
Yeah.
We deserve to get banned for that.
I'm like, man, your rent is $1,000. You just spent $5,000 in fireworks.
Yeah.
How crazy is that? You just wasted. You just wasted on sound crackers, and now you spent $5,000.
Well, we had a great time.
But
We had a great time.
and then you go to Beverly Hills, nobody's home. You close it.
It's bad because every year I have a thing. Every July 4th, I need to be in Vegas, and it's been like a thing for me for the past, I think, 6-7 years. So every year I come back to LA, I'm going through the 210. All you see is just dark clouds. I'm like, holy shit! Everybody
went to
just
town.
had fun.
But see, that's why we deserve that law to ban the fireworks because we don't know how to control ourselves. We get wild. But like, come on, backyard barbecue. Like, give me a break.
That's the
like
stupidest.
one little bit of joy I have left in LA. You want to take that away from me too?
You just can't eat. They're doing no meat.
Oh, I should
no this.
microwave my meat.
Yeah. It's just a crazy lot. I think, when you vote for crazy people,
You get crazy results.
Yeah.
They say you pay peanuts, you get monkeys.
yeah, it just says, you know what, if your politicians are stupid, it's not because they're just stupid, it's just the people are the same type of people who are voting these people in. That's the reason we get stupid people. Because they look at the dotted lines and say, oh, okay, Democrat, okay, Republican, I'm going to put all they don't even know who they're voting for. And then you get defaults like this idiots that come in.
But I think more people are aware now. I think it's gotten to the point where everyone's so fed up of like, look, it's enough. Like, enough ruining the city. The homeless is out of control. The drugs use out of control. The crime is out of control. Prices are out of control. Enough. This hasn't worked over the last 10 years. You guys have been in control in 10 years, and you just got it worse year over year over year over year. It's the same promise, same bullshit, and we get the same damn results. Worse and worse and worse every single year. I can't remember a time where LA was not like what it is to like how bad it is. You know what I mean? I can't remember the good times anymore. It's like almost fading. Like, this has become the norm now. I get a homeless people throw shit at my car. I'm like, it's normal. You know, I hit a pothole. It's normal. Like, it shouldn't be like this. My car tells me when there's potholes coming. I'm like, why does my car, that's German, that's not even American, tells me there's a pothole coming? Fix the damn potholes. Like, my car shouldn't be telling me, oh, there's a pothole, go around it. You know what I mean? Like, come on, fix these things.
Because they know they're not going to fix it, so the car manufacturers
They're
are
like,
putting
give
an
up.
option.
We give up. We gotta warn them. Like, don't damage your rims.
Yeah.
Again, it's, sue Toyota because it's, too easy to steal a catalytic converter. It's Toyota's fault.
Yeah, it's
your car's fault for not knowing that there's a pothole. Go around the pothole.
Yeah, I mean,
like, we shouldn't live like this.
They blame you for somebody robbing your house.
Oh yeah, they blame us. They're like, well, don't put valuables in your house. What the fuck?
Don't look rich. Yeah. Sometimes my wife says, let's fix at the house. I'm like,
why?
If I fix
We're gonna be a target.
Yeah, they're gonna come rob us. Yeah.
I put a Toyota Prius in front of my house because I'm like, make it look as poor as possible.
I told my cousin,
No offense
he's
to
like
Prius
an
drivers. I love Prius.
architect. Yeah. He's an architect. I said, listen, when you design the house, just keep the same facade.
Make them. Yeah.
Just do underground stuff that,
Yeah.
just make it out. Those, it's like 48 hours or, when they go into the trailer and then it's like, there was this, they did this.
It was called like Fix This House or something.
No. It's like this, it was like a movie where they were making fun of movies and stuff. But,
really?
there was this one scene, it looks like a trailer. And then you go into the trailer.
Oh, it's like a big house.
And then it's like,
it's like a faux entrance. Yeah.
So I'm like, do something like that.
That's funny.
You get robbed, man. You know, like you see Woodland Hills where we're getting hit so many times now.
Woodland Hills, Tarzana, the Chilean gangs coming in. I mean, it's, yeah.
My dad used to have, used to do this. He had a saying. We used to live in Hollywood, Lexington and Gordon. One of the craziest times in the late 80s and early 90s. It was like gang-related shootings, drive-bys, and people don't understand how bullies and how crazy it used to be. And my dad used to leave the car open. We're like, Dad, they're gonna, it's like, no, nobody will steal from here, because if they steal, all the criminals live here.
Yeah.
So they're not gonna steal from us.
Yeah.
They're gonna go somewhere else to steal, so they won't steal from us because we know who took it.
Yeah. And then I'm like wearing these bracelets, and then I went somewhere, and one of the girls was like, oh, what are you having, a midlife crisis? All the guys are wearing it. I'm like, no, I can't wear a watch in LA because I'm going to get robbed. So what's the next thing? I can put a stupid bracelet on. So if I get robbed, it's only like $2.
Yeah.
You
I
know
don't
what I
want
mean?
to lose my hand.
Nothing. Yeah. Okay, go ahead. You want to rob my fucking bracelets? Take it.
Yeah, but during COVID time, it was bad.
Really bad.
I was getting robbed for their watches.
Anything. They were following you home. Yeah, if you had a watch on, you were getting robbed.
Beverly Hills, especially.
Yeah.
People
The hood was safe. Because everyone had guns.
Yeah.
Beverly Hills, no one has guns. So became an easy target.
Because they were coming from there and
exactly.
taking your watches and stuff. It's just, I think we it's a little bit better, but it's still,
It's only better because we have the Olympics, we have World Cup, we have all these things coming. But it's not because crime is low. It's better because, look, no one's wearing watches anymore. Everyone's like wearing like $2 items, hiding everything.
Burn their houses down.
Yeah, the house is all burnt down. There's nothing more to rob. And like no one really has money anymore because of gas prices, because of high rent, high everything. So everyone's broke. What's there to rob?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Kidney.
Yeah, kidneys.
Next kidney.
Don't drink in K-Town.
Was it you that you were talking about, when you said selling? Was it the plasma thing? Were you?
Oh,
was
the
it
plasma
you?
exchange? Yeah.
It was you, right?
Yeah, it was. You know about the plasma exchange, right?
No.
So all the billionaires and elites all go to different countries and they do a plasma exchange. What plasma exchange is, you hook up your veins to one machine, and it pulls out your blood, filters out your plasma, and that's where all the dead viruses are and all the microplastics over the years. It just sits in your plasma. They take out your plasma and they replenish it with brand new plasma. There's companies in LA that do it, but they charge like 15 grand to do it per session. It's like a 3-hour session. So what I was like, and I talked to a few doctors, I was like, why don't I just go donate my plasma? Because when you donate it, they'll buy your plasma and sell it to someone else. And like, it takes out 1 liter of your plasma. So I was like, let me just go donate my plasma twice a week for 2 weeks. That gets out all my plasma, and then my body will make its own brand new plasma. So that'll be sort of like the cheap man's version of doing the plasma exchange, and then getting an IV and adding back a whole bunch of like vitamins and minerals afterwards. So
Probably a lot of people will take your advice and start getting.
I mean, yeah. Well, again, this is like a longevity hack.
Yeah.
What's his name? Kevin O'Leary does this. Tony Robbins does this. They all do these plasma exchanges. A lot of like athletes do it as well. And my buddy did it actually in Mexico. It's like 3-4 grand in Mexico. In the US, it's like 10-15 grand. And you just feel like $1 million. Like it completely filters out all the toxins, all the dead viruses, all the microplastics out of your body.
Recover pretty quickly. Yeah.
You recover instantly.
Yeah.
I mean, like you really feel like, wow, brand new, like a brand
How
new person again.
reliable is it though?
It's. I'm telling you, it's like the latest thing all the billionaires are doing. It's like one of the best things they're all doing.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's called the plasma exchange. There's a less expensive version of it called EBU, where it's an ozone. It takes your blood, filters it through an ozone machine, and the ozone kills viruses, and it filters back in. So your blood comes out like purple looking, and it goes back in super red and oxygenated. That one's like $1,000 to $1,500, and that's called EBOO, EBOO. And it's around $1,500. It's about an hour process, and it filters out your blood. But your plasma being filtered out, that is like the ultimate longevity hack. That adds years to your life, and it removes all the microplastics you've accumulated in your plasma over your entire lifetime.
But what if, so they take your plasma.
They take your
clean it.
plasma. No. They replace it with new plasma.
No, let's say, for example, if you donate it.
Oh, donating it? Yeah, it's like donating blood, but it's not blood. So blood donation takes a while for your body to rebuild blood again. Plasma, your body will rebuild the plasma in 1 day. So what it does is you're taking out like 1 liter of your dirty plasma, and then you have 3 liters of dirty plasma left in your body. And then it'll replenish itself the next day. You could donate it twice a week. So you go on like a Tuesday and a Thursday, you donate your plasma. They'll pay you $200 each time. So that's $400 you get. You go next week, you donate another 2. You get another $400. Now you have $800. And then you can go to an IV clinic and say, give me NAD, give me glutathione, give me all the Myers cocktail vitamins that you have and the minerals. And you take that IV and it puts a lot more nutrients back in your body that you took out.
That's not instant at that point.
No, it's not. It's a 1 month procedure versus a 1 day procedure. But one costs 15 grand, one costs 0.
Yeah, you're making money.
If you have time and money, you do the 1 hour one. If you don't have, if you don't want to spend 15 grand, you do
it's
this.
like a hack.
Yeah.
Or you just go to Mexico. Which we'll do after this.
To Mexico, you got to drive there. You got to get a hotel there. You got to do the clinic. All in all, it's going to take you a few days.
Mexico's one still couple of sessions too, or is it?
No, it's one session. They take out all your plasma and they put in brand new plasma. It's called a plasma
I don't know how
exchange.
you can trust it. Like, I mean,
there's clinics in Mexico that are like really, really trustworthy. A lot of American companies go to Mexico, set up stem cell clinics and longevity labs because they can do a lot of things that's illegal here in the U.S., but it's legal in Mexico.
So it's almost the same equipment, it's the same
It's
things.
exactly the same equipment because they buy these equipment from Germany, from all over the world. And most of the owners are Americans that run these labs. And also, usually what you do is before you get stem cells, you got to really clean out your blood to make sure that, because what happens is when you get stem cells, it goes towards wherever there's inflammation or wherever there's problem. When you clean out your entire body, you reduce inflammation and you go through a few, like 2 days of cleanse, then you get stem cells, it goes right to the area that it needs to affect and repair.
It's crazy. You know, like education.
Well, I interview a lot of people also on my podcast, so I've gotten I've done like several hundred interviews with like CIA officers, doctors, all these people that I've gotten so much information from so many different sources.
This industry is also as well, like even like Joe Rogan. Sometimes he talks about stuff. They're like, people are, oh, he's not a doctor, but man,
he's
the guy
interviewed
talked like 600 doctors.
Exactly.
You know?
When you talk to like 500 doctors, you kind of know.
It's like the same thing, you know, when I was coming back to it with the education, you know, we get a lot of education now online. Do you think like in the future, education wise, is it going to be like, is it going to be worth it? You know, it's like higher education.
I think so. Look, you don't go to school to learn, you go to school to research. I think that's what people misunderstand. Like when you're in school, you're learning how to research and how to understand how to get the right kind of information. You don't go to school to learn how to add. You learn how to research. You know what I mean? So I think
solution.
Yeah, that's what's important. I think that's what school teaches you the most. So if you're able to already research properly and know how to, I guess, critical thinking is important. Like if you understand critical thinking, if you're understanding certain things that will help you in life, to be able to use AI to your advantage, to research properly for what you want to do, you probably don't need it. I think school is only important if you want to be a doctor, if you want to be an attorney. I mean, actually, you don't even have to go to law school now. You can just sit and take the baby bar and then...
Like Kim Kardashian.
Exactly. Like fail 10 times or like... Yeah. So it just depends on what you want to do. But if you want to go to school and get like a bachelor's of arts in history...
Or gender studies.
Or gender studies or environmental studies, I don't think there's really a job out there for you, especially with AI or computer science or anything like that. But if you want to be a doctor, you need to go to school for that. If you want to be a physician or veterinarian or anything like that, you need to have some sort of education for that.
And you don't want to go to a doctor and getting surgery and say, hey, where did you go? Oh, I learned it online.
Yeah.
ChatGPT.
Yeah, ChatGPT. Well, you know, a lot of things, like you can get your blood work uploaded to ChatGPT and it can tell you basically things that your doctor might miss.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are doing that as well.
Yeah.
You know, the crazy thing is, the other day I was talking, my son was having a little bit of harder time on math. He's okay, but he's still testing above average, but it's not like where his English and stuff is. So I was telling him, I'm like, you know, you can do chat, you know, you can do AI, the AI will explain and stuff. He goes, yeah, but yeah, the teachers are this and this. I'm like, listen, you don't have to depend on your teachers to teach you something.
Yeah.
You can go online, you can do AI and stuff. He goes, then if the AI is there, then why do I need to go to school? You know?
He's right. But it still teaches you a lot of disciplines. It teaches you to be on time. It teaches you to interact with people. That social aspect of being around other friends and
good citizen.
Yeah, it teaches you how to be around society, how to around people, that camaraderie, going to college, being in a fraternity, all that is great experiences that you don't want to just skip out. You know what I mean? So I still think that whole joy of having friends, graduation, going to prom, playing high school football or some sports in high school, all of that builds character and it leads to a better life.
And they said, you know, like
sports is a good indicator for success.
Yeah, CEOs. I said there's a stat. I don't know how true it is, but you know, I've heard it from so many places. They say 95% of CEOs that are successful CEOs, 95% of them have played competitive sports.
But the CIA guys that we've interviewed have said that what the CIA looks for is childhood trauma. They look for the right amount of childhood trauma because that's always an indicator of success. Not too much trauma. Too much trauma equals alcohol dependency or sex addiction. Just the right amount of trauma gets you super successful. So a lot of athletes, a lot of CEOs that are very successful have some sort of childhood trauma.
Yeah, you see a lot of people like broken home, you know, or the dad was an alcoholic or they had...
Well, not too much.
Yeah.
Remember, if it's too much, it's... there's a fine line. Just barely enough trauma.
My son will say, hey, Dad, start drinking.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, or just miss a few baseball games.
You know, it's so funny. My wife was out of town and I had like 2 beers. And then the next morning, he told my wife, he says, Mom, you know, Dad had 2 bottles of like beers.
Yeah.
She's like, okay. He's like, no, he's alcoholic.
Oh boy.
Yeah. You should have back then.
Yeah. Should have seen me 20 years ago.
It's crazy. With AI and stuff, do you think with, you know, you guys, you know, you've been in the field and then we'll kind of close it from here if you don't have anything else. do you think AI with real estate, with investments and things like that, what is that going to do to that arena? In your opinion?
It's going to make it easier to analyze deals. Like right now, with guys that have been in the business for a long time, I could walk into a property and within 10, 15 minutes, I'll know if this is a good deal, it'll make money or it'll lose money. I think what AI is going to do is analyze all the data that we know as like intuition, and it's going to just make that a model and know if a deal makes sense or not. So it'll be easier to just basically say, find me a flip in the city of LA in this neighborhood that makes sense, and it'll scatter all the records and it'll go through everything and it'll find that this particular property at this price will make you $50,000. Put an offer at this price.
Yeah.
So it'll do that. It'll make it a lot easier rather than you using your intuition and driving a neighborhood and be like, I got a hunch this will work.
But do you think it will replace a lot of the agents?
I think the analogy that Jeff Bezos used in that interview was, imagine you're in your backyard and you're digging a trench with a shovel, and all of a sudden someone comes by with a tractor and says, hey, use this. The tractor is much faster. So I think AI is going to do that.
Yeah. What's the red flags that you see? Let's say, business contracts or, the things that make you walk away.
Oh, red flag in a contract?
Yeah. Or a person you're dealing with, like you're going to do a contract with, or you're going to do a business thing with. What's a red flag that stands out for you at the most?
The number one red flag, cheap, is I don't do business with cheap people. And then number two is if I don't like the person personally, I won't do business with them. I have to like the person, want to go out to dinner with them. So I'll usually go out to dinner with the person, get to know them on a personal level, see what their relationships are like, what type of person they are, what their idiosyncrasies are. And then if I like that person and they're not cheap, I'll do business with them. The cheap comes into play because when you're making decisions down the road on an investment, they'll always go with the cheapest thing, and that's going to bite you in the butt later on. They'll go with the cheapest bid. That contractor's going to cut corners. It'll show up in the final result, and it'll cost you money down the road. So those are things that I've experienced that have cost, a lot of money.
Yeah. Cheapness is never good. Good never
Eventually catches up.
Yeah. You'll pay for it one way or another.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just because cutting corners is always, and anything you do is cutting corners. Is probably the most costly.
Well, we talked about it in the beginning about people buying followers and buying likes and things. That's cutting corners.
Yep.
Eventually, it's not gonna give you the results that you want.
Yeah, that's why I always tell them, like, we want to do natural.
Slow and steady.
Slow is good. Sometimes it doesn't go. It might be a year and a half, 2 years, and then all of a sudden, all you need is one boost. And then the rocket is off.
Usually it's at the 6-month mark of when you start. Yeah.
It's tough, but then you're posting, you're doing all the work and stuff. It's of course, what guests you're bringing, what the information is. Sometimes you bring good information. Nobody consumes it.
Yeah. It just depends on what the algorithm is like doing.
You can talk nonsense, and sometimes you show shows, and they're not even giving any information. And we like to give information. We want something, somebody to get something out of it. It's a valuable thing, rather than just talk about bullshit. Girls, or like some people talk about Bulma for like 5 hours. It's like. There's maybe a market for it, or like people eating and stuff. People watch them, an hour of people eating.
Look, I'm guilty of watching people cutting grass for an hour.
Yeah,
like I'll watch that for hours and hours and hours. It's interesting for me sometimes, but I'm like, what am I doing? I'm watching some guy cut grass for an hour, but it's interesting.
I think our minds are so busy that we automatically get attracted to something that doesn't use brain power. It's just like that's why my wife puts like there's this lady that she watches live, and it's like nonsense. I'm like, why do you listen to this? It's pure nonsense. It's like, it cuts off my brain, and it's just, and if you look at her and the content, it's like literally useless as it could be. No point. At least cutting grass, you figure out how to cut a grass. But on that thing,
Bro, that's grass. I watched the window cleaning videos.
Yeah, those are pool cleaning, window glass.
It's crazy.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Do you have anything to add?
No, not at all.
Do you have anything to add as far as what you want to share? What do you think is worth for people to know?
I think
to take from this.
take from this is no matter what you hear on social media, just understand that the broad information that you get isn't really tailored for your particular situation. If someone says buy rental property or invest in real estate, it doesn't necessarily mean you in LA should invest. It might make sense for the guy in Nevada, the guy in Missouri or Idaho, but understand the information and then see if it applies to your specific situation in your state where you live. Understand the politics, understand the regulations, understand everything before you dive in. That's how I guess you can protect yourself from information when you hear it on social media.
Yeah, because there's a lot of noise, there's a lot of
good information too. It just doesn't apply to you.
Yeah. Because for you, it might be good. If you have the money, LA could be a good place to buy.
Yeah.
But,
or it could be a horrible deal for someone else. It just really is very, very specific. So it's like just general information for health, take a peptide or whatever for your health. It may work for someone. It may not work for someone else. It's do your blood work, check everything and take it.
Then doing it blindly is then don't listen too much, because a lot of times some of the expert online, they're not.
Nobody's an expert.
Really,
I've sat with experts and they don't even know what the fuck they're talking about. No one's an expert.
Yeah.
Take the information, see if it applies to you, and if it works, works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually you call an expert someone that has failed so many times. But
it's
you don't
experience
see,
though at that point.
Yeah.
Because they don't see how many times you failed, right? So you only show online.
No, I mean
the best of everything.
There's been some massive failures in real estate for sure. It's whenever one last deal that I did, we lost $10 million on. It was Gene Simmons' old house that we've invested, fixed and flipped, and ended up losing $10 million. But I learned from that was don't invest in other people's projects. Deals that I do myself, I always make money on. The only time I lost money is investing in other people's projects. And I just assumed this person's an expert, this person has experience, this person knows what they're doing, and ended up costing the whole group $10 million. Now we know.
That's a good experience.
Yeah. I won't make that again.
I don't think you will make it again, right? I
mean, make it again. Who knows? You're never not going to make a mistake. You're never not going to make a mistake. Yeah. It's a number. It's a numbers game. You win if you're net positive after making your mistakes. Then it's a good day. Yeah. As long as you're net positive.
It's not costing your life. It's not costing your family.
It's net positive. If you make $10 million and you lose $1 million, who cares? You lost $1 million. You're still up 9.
It was like that investor. He said, he was an angel investor and he was investing on startups.
Oh, PE is even worse. That you invest in 100, 99 of them fail. One goes up through the moon that pays for everything and then some. Yeah.
I think the guy that I was talking about, he forgot his name. He invested in Uber. And he's like, you know what, that deal, whatever I lost on the other ones, made me 20 times more than what I lost. Just one deal. He goes, I depend on one. I just throw it out the thing and, hope for the best.
Most deals now, like, for example, most guys, if they have $1 million, they'll invest $100,000 in 10 deals and pray to God. With 3 of them will completely zero out. Maybe 2 or 3 of them will get even money back. 1 or 2 will 10x. That'll bring you back, net positive.
Yeah.
So the model is basically as long as you're net positive after crashing and burning on a deal, as long as you're net positive, you got experience, you know what not to do, and you're still up from all your other investments. Yeah. So that's a win. That's still a win.
It's better for moving forward.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. You have just more guardrails.
One last thing, since we went on the topic, let's say, for example, if you have 200,000 or 300,000, whatever it is it better just to do something on your own, figuring it out, or let's say you said, partnering sometimes gets you into trouble, right? Is it better to do it yourself or at least have 1 or 2 people?
It really depends on your skill set and how much experience you have and what you're doing.
If you have zero experience.
If you have zero experience and if you have $200,000 saved up, my advice is avoid real estate altogether and invest in the stock market. Go into an S&P 500 and basically take that $200,000 and break it up into a 18-month period of just putting a portion, so that $200,000 over 18 months gets invested on an automatic basis into an S&P 500. So that way, if the market goes up or goes down, you're just constantly dollar average cost buying. So if it goes up or down, it doesn't matter. You're just buying in, so your dollar average buy-in,
Pretty good.
and that 200,000 goes in there. And then if you're young, by the time you're 40 or 50 years old, because every 7 years that money should double. So that 200 grand will be 400 grand, will be 800 grand, 1.6, 3.2, 6.4 million every 7 years. So that's for someone that doesn't have any experience, doesn't want to take a risk of putting it somewhere else, put in an S&P 500. And if you've got a 21-year or 28-year horizon, you're going to 4x and 5x your money without any effort. All the deals that I've done my entire career, everything that I've done, I ran the model. If I had not done real estate and had just invested in the stock market and not hustled building, dealing with permits, dealing with contractors, dealing with all this stuff I had to deal with over the last 25, 30 years, I would have been up higher in the stock market. I would have had more money and I would have done no work versus all the work that I've done in real estate. So all that money, if I taken it and invested it, I would have made more in the stock market and I would have had free time to do anything else I wanted to do. So advice from my younger self would be go into the stock market. Don't go into real estate.
Because of all the stress, all the things the contractors.
It was a lot of work.
Houses.
It was a lot of work, and I would have made more money doing zero work, just letting the money sit in the stock market and just adding to it every single month.
Yeah.
Every single month.
What's the return on the real estate the last 75 years?
I don't know what it is over the last 75 years, but it's nowhere near the stock market for my portfolio and for the deals I did. I was very hands-on. I built from ground up. I fixed, flipped, invested, bought, sold, did everything in real estate. When I added from the last 25 years, had I just put that money every single month that I made into real estate, my numbers, my real estate would have done, stock market would have done better for me.
Yeah.
And for someone that doesn't have experience in this complicated market and difficult market where rates are high, inflation is out of control, and you just don't know where regulations coming in, it's way too risky to be a novice in real estate. Much easier to put in an S&P 500. That'll do way better.
Yeah, I think because you have no risk. I mean, you do have risk, but you don't have as much risk of depending on other people to kind of guide you.
Real estate last 4 years has been flat.
Yeah.
Or down. So people that bought in 22 are all negative. Mm-hmm. So their prices have gone down. Yeah. If you bought 10 years ago, the last 4 years, you didn't make any money in the valuation of your real estate. So, but the stock market's been through the roof.
Yep.
You wouldn't say a mentor will be ideal for you to get a mentor in that case?
When it comes to mentors, the best advice I can give you is don't take advice from anyone you wouldn't trade places with. So if you have a mentor and you're willing to trade places with that person and you want to trade places with that person, then yeah, work with a mentor. But someone like me, I don't have time to teach anyone anything. You know what I mean? I'd love to teach, but I'm so busy with so many things that like I look at other mentors and some mentors, I'm like, this guy really doesn't know what he's talking about. You know what I mean? And like the guys that like, I'm not trying to like,
sounds great, but
it sounds great. Yeah. And I'm not trying to say I'm better than anyone, but I'm just saying like, guys that you really want to be mentors for you don't have the time to be mentors for you, and guys that have failed, that have nothing going on, become mentors.
Yeah, it's like teachers, right?
It's like teachers. Yeah. They failed at what they wanted to do, so they become and teach. Like all the people that are teaching like how to invest in real estate. They haven't invested in real estate. They're not making money in real estate. The guys that are making money in real estate, that are working, that are busy, we don't have the time to spend and say, hey, let me help you hold your hand. Time is money. We just don't have the time to do it.
They sell courses.
Yeah, they'll sell a course, but that course is outdated. That's not going to do anything for you.
I'm so sorry, but I've always said it. Like, if you're selling the course to teach somebody something, why are you giving out your secret?
Oh, listen, I don't mind give out secrets. I'll give out secrets on social media because 97% of people will not do it. Only 3% will do it and they'll succeed. And I want more people to succeed. The more your friends have money, the more you're going to have fun.
Absolutely.
If 10 of your friends are rich just like you can all chip in on a private jet. You can all chip in on a yacht. If you're the only rich friend, you're paying for everyone's private jet. You're paying for all the parties. I want all my friends to make a shit ton of money. So when we go party, we all have a great time. I don't want a sourpuss friend being like, he made $1 million. I only made $200,000 and be a hater. I'd rather him be in $1 million a year as well. Make money with me. We all grow together. Even strangers. I would love for people to reach out to figure out like if they can work with me or make money and be, there's plenty of money to go around. Yeah. There's a ton of information to go around as well. There's nothing proprietary in anything.
Especially nowadays with the internet, man, you put it in.
Yeah,
AI will give you.
You shouldn't sell anything.
Every secret there is.
The only people that are selling something are not successful at what they're doing. That's it. Bottom line.
It's like sales. Just they're selling. That's how they want to be successful.
Yeah, by selling the course.
thing,
Yeah, they're not doing.
Otherwise, what would you sell? Let's say, for example, you're getting out there and selling a course instead of you're just doing the podcast and you're enjoying that side of the things rather than selling something.
Yeah. I mean, there's people out saying like build ADUs in your backyard. But what they don't understand is if you build an ADU in your backyard, it makes your front house rent controlled. If it's tied to your house, both become rent controlled. There's so many rules and laws, and it lowers the value of your property, and it makes it difficult to sell. Then you have to pay cash to get the tenant out. There's so many like traps. You know what I mean?
My cousins were talking about because they have multiple homes. They turned everything into ADU. Now they're stuck.
They regret it.
Yeah,
exactly. Because
the rent control.
Exactly, and the rent control will never go away. Even if you demolish, now you have to rebuild and add rent control to whatever you do. So like these gurus will talk about these things, but they don't know all the nuances because they're not in it every day. That's the challenge.
Plus, you have a tenant in the back.
Actually, the best thing you can do is work for someone that's super busy instead of hiring them as a mentor.
Yeah.
Because for someone like me, if I'm so busy, if you can come up to me and say, hey, let me work with you, I will take this much of a burden off of you, teach me, I would do that all day long. Because you're saving me time, you're allowing me to make more money, and I'll teach you all day long. But to come in to me as a mentor, let's go grab coffee, I want to pick your brain, bro, I have no time for that.
I can get coffee by myself.
I'll buy you coffee just so I don't have to come. You know what I mean? Here's the money. Let me send you money for coffee. Enjoy the coffee.
Go watch my podcast.
Save me my 15 minutes. Yeah, exactly.
That's why you record stuff, so you don't have to do
That's actually how it started. Yeah. The whole podcasting started because every time I would go out, people were like, bro, can you teach me about real estate? Can you do this? I'm like, let me just put it all out there. Just go watch the content. And if you have questions about something, I'll make a video. That'll save me 10 phone calls, 10 questions on that.
It's funny, like that's how it works.
It did actually start because of that. Yeah.
Because I think everybody does it because with insurance and stuff, I'm trying to make more videos because a lot of people ask the same questions.
It's the same over and over and over. Let me just make a video and watch the video.
Just even the agents and stuff that we have, sometimes, I'll be like, go watch the video.
And also, Sarkis, I would get upset at some like real estate guru talking about some stuff. I'm like, bro, that is not true. I'm making a video. I'm going to put the real truth out. I would get really pissed off because all these people are like making up these BS claims, or you can make millions in real estate. I'm like, no, you can't. Or you can get property with zero down. I'm like, no, you can't. These are the only ways. Okay, the rest are just BS. You're flipping contracts, or you're doing this, or you're assigning a contract.
Bait and switch.
Yeah, there's nothing.
Is there a bait and switch in real estate?
I mean, the only bait and switch is, we're going to sell you a course and you got to be a millionaire in like 2 months.
Because in the auto business, there is like actual bait and if you advertise and you bring them in, and then you switch them on a different car because that was sold.
I think the biggest bait and switch right now is on dating apps. You're like meeting this chick and you see her online, and the person you're like, whoa, you don't look like your picture.
It was 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's a 30-year-old picture. Yeah, exactly.
Even me, I had my on my LinkedIn.
Oh boy,
I had a picture from 20 years ago because I never changed it.
So here's the thing, Sarkis, my picture's actually backwards. People that see me that have my professional photos, they're like, take your professional photos down. They look horrible. You look so much better in person. And I'm like, no, I don't care. I'm leaving those old pictures up.
Yeah. Everything nowadays it's not what it seems to be, especially.
You got to look smacks.
Yeah. Swipe. Yeah. A lot of things are like that.
Yeah.
But I think we covered pretty much everything. Thank you for joining us. There's a lot of information.
My pleasure.
We can probably talk 6 hours, 7 hours.
Yeah. The longest actually I've done is an 8-hour podcast nonstop with John Kiriakou. Wow. Who's a former CIA officer that went to prison for releasing the torture program. We went for 8 hours.
Is that the guy?
The Greek guy. He was on Rogan.
Yeah.
He was on Rogan. He was on Diary of a CEO. He was on Tucker Carlson. He's on everything. Yeah, we went 8 hours.
Wow, I mean, I
was like, tell me more.
So much information.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah.
What's up, John?
Yeah, he shares a lot of information, a lot of things.
Too much.
Yeah, he was. I don't know if he was on your show or somebody else that I saw about his wife with the CIA. He's like, oh, you know what? Every night he says I used to have 8 phones. you know, and then I get a call and they say, hey, they used to give a code. You have to go to coffee.
Yeah.
And, you know, like 2 hours you have to drive.
And he come back
and
like
then you
8
have to
hours
come
later.
back, you know, it's like, he was like, my wife thought I was cheating on her and
Yeah,
stuff like
his first wife. Angry. Yeah.
Yeah, that's, I mean, with those kind of people, you know, it's like you're picking their brains so much. And you want to, I mean, I'll probably be there 10 hours.
Yeah, it was a long, long day. It's like he flew in actually from Virginia, from DC. He flew in, landed at 11. We went and grabbed lunch and we dove right into the podcast. We finished at like 9. Then we went to dinner. It was like 12 o'clock by the time we were finished. And like, I didn't want to leave. He didn't want to leave. And I was like, you got up at 2 a.m. because you're 3 hours ahead. So you're on like no sleep and you still can go. I can go. And it was like midnight by the time we finished dinner and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, that's, I mean, it's a good, he's very interesting. I mean,
yeah, his videos did about 100 million views on all our channels.
Yeah, he's a good person.
Very
too,
good guy. Yeah, very nice guy too.
Yeah, I mean, he seems like it. I mean, he's
very genuine, very nice person.
Because, you know, like you can only fake it. Like, you know, in one podcast you can fake it, and the next one, or
eventually, if you're an asshole, it comes out.
Yeah, you're gonna get caught, right?
Yeah,
because somebody's gonna ask you the wrong question or kind of give you that, you know, they want to do the gut shot thing, kind of thing, you know. But he's always calm.
Yeah,
he's settled. I mean, obviously, I guess he's training also.
Yeah, smart guy.
You know, if he made it into those deep ends, you know, and all those countries he was in, you have to be good at what you do, you know. But yeah, thank you.
My pleasure. It was fun.
And hopefully we can have you more, and you know, we'll see each other, and you know, that's why we like to build relationship with people that we do. That's why I only invite people that, you know,
you like.
Yeah, you know, because you know, if it's not interesting, I don't want to be pretending, you know, and I don't do this for money, you know, because you know, you don't make tons of money in the beginning.
You lose a lot of money.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
So it costs a lot of money.
Yeah, if I'm gonna lose money, like, you know, I want to enjoy it. Right?
Yeah.
It's like going to a club, going to a thing. You know, you went to, let's say, Vegas, you lose $3,000, but you're like, hey, you know what?
I had 10 grand worth of fun.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you know, you won't believe it. You know, me and my wife, when we go to a casino and we're gambling, and people are like, all pissed off, and I'm like, listen, I'm not here to make money. I'm here as long as she lasts as 8 hours, 9 hours in that one day playing. That's all I care about. I don't care about winning. Okay, yes, if we win, it's great.
Yeah, but
even out, it's okay. You know, if I lose, it's still okay because she played for 8 hours.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like I said, I'm an hourly gambler. I like to extend the time. Exactly. You know.
Yeah.
So that's the whole thing. But we like to enjoy it, and it was really a pleasure talking to you.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Thanks for having me.
And a lot of information, man. You know, that's what we want to get to. Thank you. And I hope we can see you more often.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother.